So first of all, a big thank you to join this introductory session on moving stillness, meditation movement, a workshop on Tai Chi and Qigong and mindfulness exercises. So basically, it's about how can one be practicing being still, being completely in sync with what's happening within, at the same time being moving. And that's what we are learning just as an introduction over here, and that is what I teach, I share with people when I'm doing a workshop. And this is something that I've been practicing for some time. I'll be sharing a bit more about that. Yeah, and just a bit about what I am doing. I'm Dr. Rajiv Naidu. I'm a homeopathic physician by profession and a new life educator, integrative wellness facilitator, a counselor and a health psychologist, and a relationship wellness counselor. And I've been doing online workshops on various practices, one of them being core somatic integration, of which I'm a founder, which is a body-centered workshop, which is about how do we connect to oneself uh, to heal any kind of disease, yeah, which people call as, or the medical science calls as, incurable. I call it as incurable, means in, within the range of curability. So that is what I believe in, and that is what I practice, and I've been practicing healing people at including people suffering from major diseases like cancers, migraines, sciaticas, or anxiety disorders, and majorly professing in healing relationship problems like marital discords and other relationships. So this is my major work, and also having a working towards figuring out this workshop, which I call as accelerated cures, because this is what I figured out in some time, that how the cures can be very fast. Instead of suffering for a long time, how we can change relationships, how we can change diseases, how we can change psychological problems very quickly, sometimes even in one sessions. And there are so many people who can give this testimonial, like uh, who have got cured of their major pains and all that just in one session. Yeah, and otherwise also, like I work with cancers and all, and they are left in a very happy, healthy, relaxed, peaceful states. Yeah. And of course, the third one is moving stillness, that is mindfulness in movement or meditation in movement. How do we meditate? How do we stay in that state of stillness as we are moving? So that is one thing. And of course, I have been a trainer of hypnotherapy for the last 24, 15 years, practicing training people in transactional analysis, neuro-linguistic programming, creative visualization, and enjoying happy relationships. That's my, so I write my own blogs, and of course I have my own YouTube channel, and where I keep posting all this, and on various issues like dealing with anxiety, with fears, with the how to forward your life in work, in business, in health. So that is basically my aim, and what uh, this is what I really enjoy doing, and that is what I train people in. Even Tai Chi's moving stillness is that comes from that platform. Yeah. So let's move. So in this case, what we are going to do is that we are going to understand a bit of what is stress, what is trauma, and given where we are today, yeah, the COVID pandemic, and so many people are left so stressed, so traumatized. And otherwise also in life, there are so many of us who are stressed and traumatized. I don't think there's anyone on this planet who is not stressed and who's not traumatized. Yeah. and uh, and what are the effects of that, and how it impacts our whole life, and not only just personally, it impacts our relationship. Though we keep saying that the the problem in the relationship is whatever is happening in the situation, because the other person is behaving like this and I'm given by the situation. No, it is only your traumas that are being amplified, that are being displayed out there in your situation. And if you can treat the stress and the trauma within, and you can heal that, you will actually start seeing the change happening in your relationship in the fastest time possible. And many a times, even in your diseases, like you talk about the liver problems, you talk about the kidney problems, you talk about the heart problems, you talk about the skin problems, you talk about the migraines, you talk about the ankylosing spondylitis, the back problems, the cramps, the insomnia. You talk about many diseases, but there is a cure. There is a possibility the person can heal, cure, enjoy healthy, happy life, and also enjoy healthy, happy relationships. And the most important relationship that we have is a relationship I have with my own self. And how do I train myself to heal that, to have a very maximized relationship with myself? And then the effects of stress and trauma. What is moving stillness, and what are the benefits of moving stillness, and exercises to enhance energy? And that is what we are going to do today, as to how do we exercise, how do we train ourselves such that we are able to enhance energy. Yeah, so we are going to talk about this. Yeah, so I will just talk a bit about this so that we can just put it aside, and just I can talk to you one on one, so like straight to the group. So the effects of Tai Chi or the moving stillness is being shown on just a few of them in bone loss in menopausal women, cancer survivors, depression, fibromyalgia, or any kind of pain, fatigue, and insomnia, osteoarthritis, chronic heart failure, rheumatoid arthritis. These are just some of them. Yeah. So I'm trying to this time not trying to show more of videos, and would like to be just having as far as possible. Yeah. So friends, uh, talking about the effects of stress and trauma. So basically, as I said, we all are stressed, and we all have our own problems of stress and trauma. And as we grow up, we are carrying this energy. So do you agree that we are all made up of energies? Yeah, everything in this universe, like we learned it in physics also, it's everything is energy, right? Now, we are also made up of energy, and we are in, when the energy, and we have this universal flow of energy, and that universal energy flows through us. When we are in sync with the energy of the universe that flows, and it flows through us in harmony, the energy within us is in harmony, then you are healthy. But when there is a block in the flow of energy, or there is a disharmony, that is when you will display diseases. So this is something that we got to understand, that we only display diseases like a discomfort. Even discomfort is a form of disease. It's like dis-ease, you're away from ease. So even if you're not feeling okay, you wake up in the morning and you have a heavy head, or you have something churning in your abdomen, or you feel tight in your hips, or you feel fatigued, you feel tired, you feel you are not able to sleep, you're stressed all the time, you're worried. These are all forms of diseases. Right? And now what we see on the pathology report, or what is seen on an X-ray, is something, the disease has reached a particular point where it is seen on the pathological report, or the X-ray, or the sonography, right? Or can be felt, like you touch the liver and you can feel it hard, or there is this arteriosclerosis, there is this cholesterol. Now we are generally seeing that as a disease. Let me tell you friends, that's the result of a disease. So you may be a bit surprised to know that's a result of the disease. And most of the times what we are doing, or the medical science is doing, is trying to treat the result of a disease. It's almost like we have put the raw material in the machine, and then it goes through a process, and there is this end product. Now, instead of working on the raw material, because the end product is showing some defect or a problem, you're trying to change the end product rather than working on the raw material. Now, just imagine how tedious it is. And what is the possibility of it getting healed completely? And that's one of the reasons we keep tending to take medicines for the longest period, and even sometimes till the end of our life. And most of the medical science believes that is called the treatment or the cure. That is not. That's why it is said that they are supposed to be incurable, because you're working on the wrong area completely. If you want to make changes, you got to make changes at the blueprint level, not on the end product. And we are all made up of energies. And now when we are talking about energies, that is what we are. And if we are starting to make the changes at the energetic level or the energy level, then you are catching it very young, or you're catching it when it just initiates. It's in the most nascent stage. And that is what, when you heal that which is easy, you will start seeing a huge change happening in yourself. And that is what these practices do. We are working at the energetic level. We are working at the energy level. Right? And as though it cannot be seen what we are doing, but definitely research has shown, when people are connected, when they are doing research and they are connected with electrodes and all, and they put ECGs, EMGs, EEGs, and they connect, they have started seeing, like when you do it with transcendental meditation or any kind of meditation or movement with Tai Chi, they have seen that there is definite change happening in people. And when there is a definite change happening in people at the energetic level, at the level of energy, then of course the end result has to be of good health, of positivity, of higher energy, of enthusiasm, of joy, of happiness, of relaxation, and of course of other things like anti-aging qualities, of power, of enthusiasm. That is just end results or the outcomes of this. What you see in certain people, that they are so energetic and moving, they are so agile. These are all end products of something that is happening inside. So now what, and thereby we are healing the stress or the effects of stress. Now what happens in stress? Very simple. Or in trauma, it's very simple. Yeah. So just look at your own self. When you are stressed, what happens to you? You are feeling something inside your body. So if you just see how it is, like when you're stressed, what happens in your mind? Think of it. What happens in the rest of the body? You start overthinking. You start overanalyzing. Your body starts feeling a bit more tighter or tensed. You don't feel comfortable. You feel more fatigued. Whatever you want to do, it seems more of an effort. Even talking becomes more of an effort. Right? So this is how it is. Like when you are stressed, it's almost like you're carrying burden on your body. Like what? So basically, how do you define stress? So in one of my workshops, I just mentioned this, that it's almost like carrying a brick. Like if you go to my YouTube channel, I put this, like the weight of the brick is not decided by the weight of the brick itself, but decided by how you carry it and how long you carry it. And same thing with stress. And what happens if you carry the weight, the brick, for a long time? Your muscles start getting tense. It starts hurting. You become restless. You want to let go of it. And same thing happens when you're under stress. Your body becomes tight. It gets contracted. Your breathing gets faster. And you feel that it's all contracted. You don't have the full breath. Your digestion goes for a toss. You're tensed and tight in your joints and your muscles, in your ligaments. It becomes an effort. Even if you sleep, you may be sleeping, but you don't get rest. You may have your eyes closed, but something is happening all the time in your mind. And you wake up very tired and fatigued. And if this continues for a long time, then you have people who are suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome, from depression, anxiety, and the variety of diseases over a period of time. Now, instead of working on this end results of the disease, it's important that we work on the stress, right? Of course, there are lifestyle factors and all which you got to change, which happens with moving stillness. And when you work on the stress itself, how do you relate, or what happens to you during stress, and what happens to you when you're traumatized? So we have these three mechanisms called the fight, flight, and the freeze mechanism. And fight and flight is instinctual, even freeze, but many a times because of the traumatic experience, we are frozen. And that is what continues to create stress in your mind and body. And if this continues over a period of time, what is the result? Is the difficulty or the diseased experiences. What we are going to learn over here is how do we heal them, and heal them right at the point of initiation. It's like when you're making a building, you have the blueprint. If you want to make changes so that the building changes, the look of the building changes, the interiors of, you've got to change it at the blueprint so that everyone understands, and accordingly you will construct it. If you try to make changes after it's built, then it's going to be very expensive. The way we are taking medicines, and it becomes very expensive, and we spend most of our earnings in hospitalization and in the medicines. All the earnings go in that, and you're never happy. And I tell people that post 50 is the time when you really enjoy your life, because you're free of all the burden of taking care of the family, the children, and everything. Everyone's got. Now it's the time to live your life. And at that time, you are only nursing your wounds, you're only struggling, meeting doctors and taking medicines time to time, and somehow trying to manage to remain healthy. No, you can remain healthy otherwise also. And even if it doesn't matter, you're there and you're feeling the struggle or the disease, you can still start healing it. Remember, when you are doing this practices of moving stillness, you start healing right from the day one. And I'm quite sure that some of them who have been practicing would vouch for that, and maybe some of them can even give a testimonial as to how their life has changed, how they have started feeling that change in just 15 days or 1 month of practices of moving stillness, right? And now we are just going to do some of the exercises, yeah, and if there are any questions, you can put it up in the towards this point. Yeah, just let me see if there's anything more that you want to, and if there's anything you want to share or ask, please put it on the chat. Is mantra as a part of this webinar? No, not at all. Yeah. You can always use mantras if you wish to. Yeah, that is not something that I'm against. Yeah, if you're practicing that, there is no problem at all. So just very quickly sharing, I've just put down something which I liked. So the Tai Chi incorporates the Chinese concept of yin and yang, that is the male and the female energies, which are the two opposite yet complementary forces. Like in our Indian culture, we have the Ardhanareshwari, the male and the female, the Shiv as half male and half male and half female. Yeah, and the yin, that is the feminine energy, is the cold, slow or passive aspect of energy, while the yang, the male energy, is hot, excited and active. Yeah, and health is achieved when you're balancing the yin and the yang. And disease is caused by the imbalance in the blockage, leading to the blockage in the flow of the chi. Chi is the energy or the prana. We talk in yogic terms, Indian terms, we call it the prana. And in Japanese terms and Chinese, we call it the chi. Yeah, and that is the vital force or the life force, which regulates a person's spiritual, emotional, and mental and physical health, right? And this practice helps to bring about a balance in the yin and yang. And when the yin and yang, when the balance is there, what we call as the balance, when we that is there, you actually experience health, right? So friends, if there are any questions, you can ask and you can put it on the chat so that I can answer. Yeah, and then we'll take up the exercises. Yeah, you can keep putting it on the chat. I would like to contact you personally. How can I contact you? Okay, don't worry. I'll be putting in my phone number and everything. Yeah. Any other questions you want to ask? I've not made it long workshops because I also want to give certain exercises. I have not made it a long workshop. I've always stressed and fearing of future. I keep thinking something. I don't like the feeling waking up. Yes, of course, Vigneshwari, that is how it is. Yeah. I really don't understand what's happening with me. Yeah. So, of course, this is how the balance of the yin and yang or the energies are not there. And that is what is the reason. So, we have these three parts within us. Like we have the heaven chi, okay, and we have the earth chi, right? And there are three parts to this. So now, whenever you have the human chi in between, so now when the heavenly chi is disbalanced, you have all this over worry, stress, fatigue in the head. I got a headache. And if you are in the between, if you are struggling with the tummy ailments and all that, so that's the middle chi. And the bottom chi, when your legs are tired and the earth energy is depleted. So if you are too much in the head, and that is what is happening for most of us, because we are living in the metros and we are living in an age where we are always with computers, laptops, all the time thinking, worrying about how to reach to that particular place, stress. We're always thinking, right? So there is this phrase in Tai Chi, which I read long time back and really enjoyed it, which says hot feet and cool mind. Yeah, it says your feet have to be hot, like you got to be moving, agile, action oriented, and the mind has to be cool. But given the times that we are living in, right from childhood, if you notice, children have mobiles in their hands, we are always on laptops, we're always watching movies, we're always thinking, always worried about something. So we have become hot head and cool feet. We're moving less and less. And here with this exercises of moving stillness, we are actually turning it around. We're turning it around back to the natural state of having hot feet, cool head. Hot feet, cool head. And that is where the balance comes in. One of the other things is, like I talked about the stress. What happens with stress? The body gets stressed and it gets contracted. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons we develop diseases of muscles. We develop diseases of bones and joints. Yeah. And most of us have it. Medical science says, oh, if you are 35, 40, you got to have arthritis. That's false. That's false. You are being indoctrinated by this thought that you got to fall sick. That's wrong. That's not how it is. But the thing is that if you believe it, it starts happening because thought has really got power. Here you can change it. You can just relax, calm down, and I can guarantee you that you will, even if you have a disease, you will be healed. And if you are not sick, you will continue to be healthy. And that is why I call my workshops, my work, my programs, my work as a preventative work, like core somatic integration or moving stillness, because it prevents the disease even before coming. Remember, in this COVID times, what we are doing, we are talking about immunity. Instead of taking the medicine, we got to keep building up immunity. And that is the truth of the matter. We got to build up immunity. How? That we can do by actually balancing our energies. Yeah. And how do we balance them? By balancing our breath, balancing our mind, balancing the energy flow within us. And that is what Tai Chi and Qigong is all about. Tai Chi is the movement form and Qigong is the energy or the breath work. The basic foundation of the exercises, like when we do yoga, we have the exercises, yeah, stretches and all that, and twists and everything, and touching the toes, everything, and different names are there. And the basic work is always, the teacher will say, pay attention to your breath, and they make you do the pranayams, and they also tell you after some time that when you lift your hands, you breathe in, when you Putting down, breathe out. When you lift your hands, breathe in. When you put your hands down, breathe out. So basically, that's the same thing that they're doing. They're bringing in the connection between the breath and the bodily exercise. That's why yoga and Tai Chi are one of the foremost and most beneficial form of practices for good health, for positivity, for experiencing energy and enthusiasm, for alleviating major diseases and also preventing many diseases. Yoga also shows that after having sickness, you can actually treat yourself with this and stay well or free from diseases, remain healthy. So that is what it is. Everything happens only in my stomach, like a big battle is going on. Yes, so also check, Geeta, are you suffering from anxiety? If you're suffering from anxiety, it will be happening in the stomach.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And anxiety then affects the head also, right? You keep worrying.
Yeah.
And of course, when your thinking is there, the stomach is the first thing that gets affected, right? So
Yes.
what happens with this exercise is your thinking processes calm down because you are in the here and now. And in the here and now, you will not think. You will be in the moment, in this moment. And in this moment, there are no thoughts, there are no worries, there are no fears, there's no anxiety, there's no stress, right? And that is how the diseases heal. Now, one of the things I was talking about, the stress. Remember, whenever you're stressed, what happens to you? Your body gets contracted. Now, Tai Chi has a very good slogan: long muscles, longer life. So when it's just opposite of stress, which is shortened, contracted muscles. And of course, just imagine you hold your body like this and start to breathing in. How much can you breathe? Versus, right? Try to tighten your body and breathe in. How much can you breathe in? Versus, can you see the difference? Yes, no, maybe. Give me a thumbs up. So this is the change. That is exactly what we are learning. How can we relax our body? How can we have an expanded experience of oneself? That, and it brings in a new way of looking at life because it's more open, right? It's like more open, more. It's a new, positive, healthy outlook towards life, and that itself matters. And that's what moving stillness does. It brings about a shift in the way you're looking at life, right? Now, any more questions, or I'll just start off with some of the exercises. Okay. So if you are interested, I would request you, please put on your videos so that I can see you. And it's okay if you don't put it on. Okay. So remember, yeah, remember one thing, don't put on your keep yourself unmuted. We don't need to hear. Yeah, you just got to see me. Yes. Julian is all ready now. Stressed and clear. Okay, so I am quite sure you can see me now. Yeah. So we can just feel that stress in our body. How many of us feel that just my hands are feeling tight or stressed or not relaxed, and I feel some kind of tightness, and that's also because of energy accumulation, and we are not learning to relax them or heal them. So very simply, you can start with this, so that this is very simple relaxation or releasing of stress. Are you getting it? Releasing of all the extra energy that is accumulated. Don't we do that whenever we have done some work? Don't we do all this? Yeah, that is to release. And remember, these are end points when we are doing body work. I do core somatic integration. That is a somatic work. That is body work. So basically, all the trauma that you experience, they get stored in the joints. That's why most of us, as we grow older, we tend to have joint pains. and we don't move them. And that is one of the reasons yoga also helps, because what do they teach you? Only moving the joints. Very simple. And they make you do it very slowly. Because if you do it fast, like you go into the gym and you do all this, you may not, like many people say, but if I keep running and walking and running and all that, should I not be healthy? Not necessarily, because mindfulness can go missing. So whenever you're doing exercises, you've got to do it mindfully. You've got to be aware of what's happening, okay? So keep doing this and just notice. Yeah. And this is one good exercise in itself. Yeah. Otherwise, rub. You can even put your fingers together and just rub and just notice how it feels. Yeah. And you can feel some warmth. Now, this is natural because you say, oh, I rub my hands. Yes, but there is some kind of energy movement that happens in your hands. Yeah. So one of the exercises which I'm going to do, I'm going to show you standing, which I teach when I'm teaching my students. This is one of the exercises which is very good. This is very simple. A very, very good exercise for relaxing your whole body. It can be a good warm-up. It can be an exercise in itself, twisting your spine. And this is not this. Remember, this is not this. This is turning the hip and then tapping the body. This is very good for even weight loss. So I tell people how to lose their weight. I was doing this workshop called I Am Slim. Yeah. Yes. So Olian, you turn your hip, not just the hands. Olian, not just the hands, the hips. Yes. So I can show you like this. This is what we are doing. We are doing this, the hips. Can you see it? The hips. And then we go like this. The hips first. Right? If you want to decongest your chest, tap your chest. Yes. Keep doing. Yeah, and just come back. You're just doing little. Just observe how you feel in your body now. And when you're doing it, you acknowledge what's happening. Yeah, you don't just move into another. You just notice what's happening in your body. Observe what's happening in your hands. Remember, the extremities are the areas from where you get the discharge of the energies. Now, remember the most important areas of the body is the head, the chest, the abdomen, the reproductive organs. Yeah, that is why if you notice, all of them have bones around it. That is to protect the important parts of the body, the heart, lungs, the head, right? And also the hips, the pelvis. They are all important parts of the body. Yeah. So we have all, God has got them covered completely. The protective gear is already being given. Yeah. And now, one of the exercises I'm going to teach you, I'm going to show you 2 or 3 exercises. One of the most important exercises is called the grounding exercise. Yeah. And you cannot see my feet, but the feet are generally kept parallel and they are 1 foot distance, toes pointing straight ahead and hips relaxed. There's this knees which are unlocked. Yes. And the whole shoulder is relaxed as if they are dropped, but they are not slouched. You're straight, but it is dropped. I'm quite sure you can see me. Yeah, I'm quite sure you can see. So this is how it is. And you simply, this is called the rooting stance. This stance, yeah, is the main stance of Tai Chi. Yeah, you're standing with your feet. You can see my feet also. Like the feet are 1 foot distance, toes pointing straight ahead. Knees are slightly relaxed. They're not tight. They're relaxed. So this is the basic stance, or the Tai Chi stance, or the Wu Chi stance. hands are hanging on side, they're not tight, they're very relaxed, the head is erect, and the tongue is touching the back of the upper teeth, just on the upper palate. That relaxes your whole body, and the breath goes like what we call the deep belly breathing, just by touching the tongue on the upper palate. Not right, it's just beyond, above the teeth. Very gently touching it, and your breathing will go here. You can just check it. Your jaw is relaxed, and that releases the stress. So very scientific, natural stance. And now when you breathe in, you lift your hands up till the face level, and then bend the elbow and drop. Now remember, the hands are very soft, very relaxed. You see, it's dropped. You're not holding it tight. No tightness. There's no, it's relaxed. Remember, you can get the best out of yourself and your life when you're relaxed. But we have been trained to be stressed. We are trained to fight. We are trained to, okay, you got to win. You got to compete. You got to go ahead. And that is what, and that's why we are all the time stressed and running. And by the time you are out there to perform, you're like, tired. This is exactly the way nature goes, and exactly opposite of what we are working out or doing today. It teaches you how to relax. So you just lift it up till your face and bend your elbows and drop. Breathe in till your face, bend your elbows, drop. Just notice how you feel in your hands. Breathe in, bend your elbows. This is a very beautiful rooting exercise or grounding exercise for people who are into healing work, who are into doing therapy, psychologists, doctors, counselors, who are all the time in connection with people who have to think a lot, lawyers, all of us, in fact. So basically, we keep losing our ground, and our work nowadays is all about analyzing. We don't have movement exercise except for the laborers and all that. They have moving exercises. They keep moving, but all of us otherwise are right in front of the computer, doing our work, earning our money, but it's all the time sitting. So, and get that when you're sitting too much, you're not moving your legs, you lose grounding with earth, right? And that is very, very important. We don't even go out in the garden. There is no garden left. As I said, we don't go out in the garden. We are not connected to Mother Earth, which is so important. And this gives you that connection. Right? Here, again. Right? So this is the first one. Now we are talking about the second one, which is the how do you regulate the chi? I told you about the yin and the yang, the two opposing energies in us. How do you regulate them? It's very simple. Yeah, it's very simple. So when they are balanced, anything in balance will always be very helpful. And you got to balance both sides of this energy. Like even when we are talking about children, they talk about having the coordination between the left and the right side of the brain and the body. And all these exercises are like that. What you do on the right hand side, you're also doing on the left hand side, and that brings about a coordination between the left and the right brain also. And it's very, very helpful. And that's how you enhance the memory. You enhance focus. You enhance concentration. You enhance good, deep, relaxed, peaceful sleep because it's coordinated. Yeah. So that is what here happens. So we are just going to do it. So there is understanding, there is this explanation to this which I am not getting into, but I am trying to just give the practical points of how it impacts your mind and body, and thereby heal stress, we resolve the diseases, and take you to a higher state of mental, physical, psychological health. That is my intention. Yeah. So just put your hands together, fingers right in the center, and now breathe in. And as you breathe in, lift your hands up. The people joining you. Yeah. Lift till your face turn and slowly form a palms outside facing downwards as you exhale, and bring your hands down. Just observe how you feel, and remember, everything that is done in this is quite slow. Breathe in, turn your hands up and above the head, and slowly bringing it down on the sides, forming a circle. Continue. Once more. Breathe in. Remember, everything is done slow and relaxed. And now there are movements of the body like maybe you are not able to appreciate, but as I am going up, I am slowly coming up on my knees, but I am not tightening my knees, and I lift it above the head, and when I bring it down, I am slowly going down on my knees, very little, maybe an inch or so, and then bringing my hands down. And if you notice, everything is very soft. The elbows are not tight, they are relaxed and curved. And this is the last time we are doing it. This is balancing or regulating the chi, the energy flow, right? And now just observe. And there's something called the energy center, which is here, the Dantian area. Yeah? You can put your palm in the navel and put your hand down. Just this, like 2 inches below the navel, and then that's the belt area. And one hand there, and then another one above that. And you're just breathing into your belly now. So when we are learning the moving stillness exercises, I teach them how to expand the energy over there and how to spread this energy throughout your body so that you can heal different areas of your body and also heal areas of the body where you might be having pain or diseases. Just breathe in and breathe out. And relax. Right, so this is regulating the chi. Now there's something called the I will show you. There's something called the channel within us. The meridian channel. I'll just share with you so that it becomes a little clearer. I'm quite sure you all are in sync with what I'm doing now. Yeah. So you see over here the diagram, the image. So you can see that there is this blue color in front, and then there is this red color fire going up from behind and up and above this. So this is called a channel, which is called the microcosmic orbit, which is made up of the governing channel and the conception channel. Yeah, we don't need to get into it, but these are all meridian channels, and the main ones which are very extraordinary is the governing channel. And so this channel is like, yeah, so we'll get over here. So this part, yeah, the channel runs, and then above, and then here behind. So it is right in the perineal area, going back, coming up here, and then to the upper lip, then here, and to the perineum. So this is what it is. So as you breathe in and out, yeah, This is a very powerful exercise which you will actually start feeling the energy flowing through your body, growing in your body. Yeah, this is from the Shivashi 2, that is the 18 steps, second form, second step. Yeah, which is very, very effective in raising energy. It's like the kind of energy that I experience at the age that I am. Yeah, I wake up early in the morning at around 4:30 or 5, and I start my day, and I am like this throughout the day, catching my sleep on and off with my studies, with my workshops, and of course seeing my clients, my patients. So all that work done and being with my family, moving around, whatever needs to be done. But the energy levels are maintained, yeah, and the body supports me as in when I need to have sleep, it's rested, and when I wake up, I'm very energetic like a small child. Yeah, so this is how it is. So remember, there are these points over here. Yeah, that's called the lal gong point. Yeah, so how do you know the lal gong point? You just take the fourth finger or the ring finger and touch it below. Yeah, and wherever it touches, that is the point. It's called the lal gong points, which is there in front and behind also. So these are Chinese names, and you bring it together. Yeah, and now we are placing it facing down, pointing towards earth, and lift it up, take it up till the heart, and at the heart pointing upwards. And remember, it's like a namaste, which is the most powerful mudra we as Indians practice, which we are losing touch with. Yeah? Because here we are bringing in both the completing the energy circle or the circuit. That's why namaste is so important, right? And now, as you breathe in, lift it up, the point, hands, fingers pointing upwards, take it out like a circle. And as you do that, you are actually circulating the energy in your body, in the governing channel.
So when to breathe out then? First breathe in, then when to breathe out.
You just do it now. Yeah, I'll tell you again. Yeah, please. I'll just tell you again. Okay, please. Yeah. So here you have it down, lift it up, breathe in, out, and breathe out as you bring it down. As you lift it up, you breathe in, turn the fingers pointing upwards, and bring it down. Lift it up, center. Now remember, when you're doing it, you are not supposed to be having your hands tight. The hands are very soft, very soft. They're just touching each other. You will get more benefits, more good output. Yeah. So soft, very soft. Yeah. Just touching each other. Soft, relaxed. Remember, when it's relaxed, you are de-stressed. The body's, your nervous system is relaxed. So you're just holding it, breathe in, fingers pointing upwards, outward circle, bring it down, and fingers downwards, and now let's do it few times, let's do it 9 times. Second, third, fourth, ready. So remember, soft hands, focus on your breath. Hands are very soft, and you can feel the energy flowing through your body. In your hands, the hands are getting warm. You can feel the energy accumulation in your hands. the last time, and remember, you can continue to do this as many number of times you want to. This will keep enhancing your energy. And now observe how you feel. Now you can play around with this energy. You can, as if there's a ball in between your palms. And just notice as you're playing with that energy ball. You can grow the ball. You can feel that ball. So for some it might be here, some it might be here. Just press it and you might feel some kind of strong force. That's how much you feel it. And for some it's bigger. So there are certain exercises that we do with this also. And you can bring it down, close it, compress the energy. And then you can also place it in points where it's paining or you want to heal it. Or you can just place it here. In the Dantian area. In India, this is the chakra system, we call it the Swadhisthana chakra, the area of joy. This is the area of energy, the ocean of energy, the ocean of youthfulness. And remember, when you're stressed, your hips go tight. And all these exercises are about loosening it. And even when we are stressed, the Swadhisthana chakra gets tight, and that's why you cannot have joy in your day-to-day life and relationships. And that is what we call as depression. Right? When you're anxious, your hips go tight, your body gets tight, you cannot enjoy life because your Swadhisthana chakra is blocked. And here we are opening it. Right? So this is the third one. Yep. So, and again, this area. So we did one movement like this. We have done the regulating. We have done the grounding. Yeah. And now just put your hands like this, palms facing down at the waist level, and just turn your hips and slowly turn your hands outside, circling it, bringing it back on the other side, out, as you turn, bring your hands. So if you notice, I am turning my whole body together. So this is coordinated. It is not separate. So we are working as moving as a unit, like the small children. If you notice small children, their whole energy is focused on one thing at a time, totally mindful. So if they are focused on a toy, the toy just becomes an extension of them. And here we are just moving the whole body as a single unit. Feel the energy. Bring it back. And now gather the energy. Place your hand on the same area, Dantian area, other hand on the first one, and just breathe in and breathe out. And become aware of your whole body, the bodily experiences, the energy that flows through your body. Be aware of how you're feeling in your body, where all you feel comfortable, relaxed, tight. Wherever you feel, if there's any tightness or something, you can just loosen it up. Be aware of your breathing. Be aware of your mind, and be aware of your body. Okay, now relax, stretch, loosen. Yeah. So this is what we are doing, completing this today. So friends, any questions you can ask me now. Let me check if there's anything more I want to share with you all. There are more exercises, but I
Hello,
think we
sir.
have the time to do it. Yeah. So any questions you want to ask, you can ask.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Sir, usually I feel my jaws are always tight most of the time.
Huh. Who's this?
Why it is? Mamta, Mamata.
Mamata. Mamata,
Yes, sir.
can I ask you something? Are you someone who
Yeah.
goes on to anger too much?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're very angry and you're suppressing it, it gets tightened and your jaws gets tightened, and that's one of the reasons we'll develop diseases. And that will also get your back muscles tight, and you might develop backache.
Okay. I
Focus
do
on the
have a
back.
pain in the hip joint.
Exactly. So that is where we are doing the touching the tongue on the upper palate so that you get relaxed.
But the thing is, it doesn't mean that only angry makes it. Even if chopping the vegetables, it automatically goes tight.
Yes, my dear, because
Jaws.
anger is, this is all unconscious. Are you getting me? The anger is
Yeah.
also very unconscious. You're not aware of it. You don't need to get angry to tighten your jaw. It's become an unconscious process. Is that clear?
Okay.
Yes.
But how? Okay.
Yeah. So for that, you will have to do all these exercises and all that. And of course, if at all it's too much, then you might have to take professional help.
Okay.
Okay. Because that
Where
in
you will
fact,
be available, sir?
I'll
Where
be
you are
available on
available?
the number which I'm going to give you. Yeah, I'm going to put it. I put it on the
Yeah.
chat. You can check it. 98208 00120. Or if you are on my WhatsApp group, then you will have my number over there. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes. Thanks, Mamta. So why
सर
I
मेरा एक
started
ही प्रॉब्लम है
yawning when I started exercising? Okay, Veena, that is yawning is a relaxation response. So many people feel very sleepy. Like most of my students say, like Kishmita had written today, that I'm feeling so sleepy. I'm at work and I'm feeling so sleepy. So that can happen because your body is becoming very, very relaxed, and that is what starts healing you. Can we do this exercise anytime? No, you don't do it after meals. At least two. I would recommend 2 hours after meals. You don't do it. Don't do the exercises just before going off to sleep. Yeah, that is because it can activate you, and then it might have you might have a problem. Okay, so okay
सर
then
मैं गीता सर
just a minute.
गीता
Yeah, just a minute, Geeta. I think should be
गीता
done
सर गीता
barefoot on
सर
earth
मेरा
or on
एक ही
light.
प्रॉब्लम है
Just a minute, Geeta. Just a minute. I'll talk to you. Yeah. Tai Chi should be done barefoot. Brilliant. It would be great if you can do it barefoot, and if you can do it in the garden, in a park, it is great. Otherwise, you can use thin soled shoes. That is always helpful. Even if you're doing it at home, I've always practiced it barefoot when I'm doing it at home. When I'm